Okay, it is now time for science, and we will start today with a short review about the things that we have learned so far. And I will repeat the vocabulary with you, and I want to check if you still remember some of the things that we've done so far. And we will do a short experiment, which you can join at home as well. Are you ready? Let's begin. We've talked the last weeks about the living and the non-living things in an environment. Do you remember the word environment? What does that mean? The environment is everywhere. Plants and animals live. So it's the space, the area where the plants and animals live, and also where we live, for example. What is our environment? It can be your home, for example. So what do you have around you? For example, the park, your school, maybe the supermarket or things like that. Those are all parts of your environment. So that is the environment where you live. It is where they can grow and produce new plants or animals. A plant or animal's environment is also affected by the weather where it lives. Because, for example, the weather in the seashore environment is very hot, and the weather in the mountain is very cold. So the environment changes by the weather. So you can see some palm trees here, but here in the mountain you cannot see any palm trees. That would be strange. That has all to do with the weather, for example. So think about where you live. Do you share your environment with other animals? And are they all welcome? Would you like to have a lion in your environment, for example, or a giraffe? Would you like to have those animals in your environment? And here they say, what is the strangest place to find life? Do you remember when we were at school that we had to draw living and non-living things? That we went outside and you had this blank sheet and you had to find living and non-living things? Some of you lifted a stone to see if there were some living things under the stone. What would be the strangest place where you can find life? Think about that. So we've done that. We've also talked about the habitat. A habitat is the home of a plant or animal. So, a little quiz for you. My habitat is the cool, dark earth. What am I? So, it is a living thing that lives in the cool, dark earth. So, it lives under the ground. What is that? Which animals can you find under the ground? Or which plants? Think about that. What could it be? Look, it is a worm. There it is. So, the next one. My habitat is the hot and dry desert. What am I? What would that be? An animal or a plant who likes to live in the hot and dry desert. What would that be? Would you like to live in a hot and dry desert? Would you like that to be your environment? No. But this camel here does. He likes to live in a hot and dry environment. I live in flooded fields. What am I? What kind of animal or which kind of plant would like to live in a flooded field? Look, that plant lives there. It's his environment. The last one. I live in the sea. I couldn't survive in the desert or in the earth. What am I? So it is an animal or a plant that lives in the ocean, and it cannot live on the land and also not in the air. What is that? Maybe you've already seen it. It is the shark. Okay, Did you know that some animals slow down in the cold winter months? They sleep for most of the time. We call this hibernation. Many animals hibernate to survive the winter months. Like this bear, for example. Bears sleep during winter. Imagine if you could sleep all winter and you will wake up again when it's getting warmer. Okay, I think that was it so far. Yeah, because I will talk about this later. So now we are going to do a little experiment and you can join me as well. What do you need? You will need a plastic Ziploc bag, or you can use a jar, for example. You will need some of these beans. Can be any type of beans, it doesn't matter. It can be the black beans or the white ones or something else. You will put them in your bag and you will have to add some cotton. It don't need to be so big. Something like this I think would be, yeah, a bit smaller. Yeah, like this would be enough. So you will put that inside of your Ziploc bag. So what are we going to do with this? What do you think? What am I going to do with this? These beans, are they living or non-living things? What do you think? Are these beans able to reproduce themselves? Are they able to grow or to move? What do you think? Is a bean a living or a non-living thing? That is something that we're going to find out. So we have the Ziploc bag with some beans and some cotton, and I need to add something. What does the bean need to grow? What do they need? Would it grow if I put it like this in a closet or under my bed? Would it grow in that way? Or does it need something else? They need sunlight to grow. They need light because in the dark it's going to be difficult for them to grow. They also need something else, something very important. Because it's really dry now, they will need some water. So I am going to add some water into this Ziploc bag. I will close the bag and I will put it on my window. Then I have sent you a diary of the beans. Yes, yes. And it looks like this. My diary of a bean plant. So what do you need to do? You will have to color this. So you will decorate your bean diary. Here you can write your name. And here you will have to draw or write, or both, the equipment. So what do you need to grow those beans? What do you need? You need a Ziploc bag. You need cotton. You need water, right? Something else that we're missing here? Here do you have to draw or write what do plants need. So what do they need? Do they need water or dirt or something else maybe? Don't know, you have to decide. So you have to draw here what plants need. Then you have to do the same here, but you have to draw the things that plants need to grow. So what do they need to grow? We've already figured out that you cannot put them in a dark closet because in that way they won't grow. So what do they need to grow? That's what you're going to draw here. And after that you will have to cut out the pictures on the last page and stick them in the right order to show how to plant a bean. So here are some images with instructions. So what comes first? What do you need to do first? Do you put water first? Or do you have to plant it first? I don't know. So you will cut these images out and you will paste them here. When you've pasted them, you also can color it. And then you have to put it in the sunlight so that it can grow. After 1 week, we are going to see what happened. My bean plant week 1. So you can draw, for example, when you started planting the bean, what it looked like. And then after 1 week, you're going to see if it has changed. And so we're going to see every week. So week 2, week 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to see the changes that your beans are making. And I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to put some water now. And I'm going to paste this little bag against the window to see what happened to my little beans. And also to figure out if they are living or non-living things. Okay? Are you excited about this? Because I am. I'm really curious what is going to happen to these beans. And I'm wondering if we can see some changes. Because now they look like non-living things, don't you think? It looks like a little stone or something like that. But maybe it's going to grow. We're going to figure it out. So, I will be back to you later and good luck with your little experiment. Bye bye.